Let's see the bottom, pull that open, the top, pull it open. There we go. And then I'll just pull this tight and tighten up my toggle. This is a bag I like to travel with, and when I have extra items in my hand, I like to attach them to the side webbing. But since I was at the airport, I couldn't use the lighter or scissors that I would typically have. And unfortunately, I didn't already have a little leather toggle set up. And as I was packing, I didn't think to tie one out of paracord either. What I did have was a 6 feet of paracord I always keep while traveling. So as I waited for the plane, I figured out a knot I could use to tie into my webbing while including a toggle. So what I did was match my ends up. I found the center point of my cord, and then I started tying an overhand knot. So I'll just take my right strand, I'll go over the back and through. There we go, there's our simple overhand knot. I'll go behind twice, and then thrice. Normally I wouldn't use the word thrice, but someone in the comments asked for it, so there you have it. Now the reason I did one on this side and one on this side is because I want my ends to match up the best I can. If I do it all the way on one side, I'm gonna be way lopsided. As I pull my knot tight, I want to pull until I get 2 turns on top and 1 in the back. And there we have it already. Here's my 2 turns in front and then 1 in the back, centered in the middle. From here, I'll open up these 2 strands. I'll have 2 more in the center and I'll pull these apart. And then you can see I have 2 windows, 1 on each side. Okay, I'm gonna hold that with my thumb. And now I'll go over to my webbing. I'll take 1 strand, I'll go up through one side and then down through the other, okay? Same thing with the bottom. I'll go down and then up. Okay, and then I'll thread each strand through 1 window. I'll take 1 and thread it through. There we go. I'll take the other and thread it through. And then I'll pull this tight, and I want to cinch it down as best I can. Now you can't overdo this and it'll be difficult for you to run your strands through, but pull it as tight as you need to. So now I'm going to pull these through so I can store it on my pack. You can see how tight it is. Okay. I do want to leave a little room on the top and bottom because it's going to store the rest of my cord. So I'll take a little bite, I'll run it through that loop down below, a bite up top. Okay, and then same thing, I'll finish up with my last little bit. You can see I ended up lopsided anyways, but that's okay. All right. Now I'll find the strands that run through the toggle and I'll pull them tight. Okay. This extra slack, I'll fish through the hank. Let's see here, this is pulling up right there. There we go, I'll just pull it down. All right. Okay, and that's the cord I keep on my pack, just as I need it when I'm walking through the airport and I need to keep my hands free. When it's time to use it, this is what I'll do. I'll pull it free, and then I'll release the slack into my knot. Pull up and down. Now in this case, I want to stow a bottle of Powerade. What I could do is just pull it through the top and then tighten up my toggle there, but this is more likely to slip out. So instead of doing that, I'll take the loop up top, I'll give it a twist. That way it's pulling on opposite sides of the neck of the bottle, and then I'll pull it down, okay? I'll need to tighten up the upper loop, and I'll do that by just cinching it down. There we go. Now for the bottom, this is enough already. I'll just run it around the body of the bottle. I'll pull this tight. Let's see, I think it's this one. Nope, there it is. All right, that is not going anywhere. In fact, I could use it as an extra handle if I wanted to. Now for the extra, there's a couple options here. The option that I chose was just by rolling it up and tucking it right into this back pocket. That was good enough for me. Or another thing you can do is just keep running it through the webbing you have and just run it through the top and then run it through over and over again until it's nice and stowed. Another option is I could just run it around, gather it up, and then tuck it in down below. And when I want my bottle, what I'll do is I'll loosen up the lower loop first. There we go. And then I'll just twist around and pop out my Powerade. And then my pullover here, I'm not gonna get all fancy with it. I'm just gonna fold it in half, and I'm just gonna run it through my loops here. There we go. Let's see the bottom. Pull that open. The top, pull it open. There we go. And then I'll just pull this tight and tighten up my toggle. In this case, I use my pullover as a winding point so that I could stow my paracord. And then I just slip the last little bit right behind. There we go. Of course, you could fold it up nice if you wanted to. Thanks for watching. If you'd like to support my channel, you can visit my shop at awesomeforsale.com. For the rest of this month, any orders for rope or cord will include 8 of these leather toggles. And while you're traveling, here's one thing you can do for a little extra security. Take your zipper pulls, you'll thread them through with your toggle. We'll go all the way around, pull this tight, and then we'll slide up our toggle. There we go. This is a small deterrent for a pickpocket. It makes it just a little bit harder to open up your backpack. They would have to go through, pull this open, and then pull it all the way out. And hopefully by that time you've noticed that they're messing with your stuff. Now let me show you how to make something similar with paracord. Take left over right, once, twice, and 3 times. Now pull this tight. What we want to do is have 2 turns on one side and 1 turn on the other. So here's my 1 turn in the middle. I have 2 turns on one side. I'll pop that open. Those 2 strands that are overlaying, I'll pull those apart, revealing 2 windows on each side. Okay, let's keep that separated. Now I'll take my other cord, thread through one side, thread through the top side. Let's pull that through, and then I'll finish pulling tight on my triple overhand knot. We'll make this super tight for this one. There we go. And now I'll trim the sides, leaving about 1/8 of an inch. You can see how tight this knot is when I try to slide it. There we go. And I want to make this one fancy, so I'm going to tie in a diamond knot. This is how I'm going to do it. I'll place it over my finger. I'll take the lower strand. I'll do an ignition twist like I'm turning off a car, and then I'll lay it over the top of the left-hand strand. I'll pull this one up right through the window, and I'll reach behind, bring it up, and then pass it through. Okay, you should have something that looks like this. Now back here, I call this a post. We have it on either side. I'll take this strand that's going down below. I'll bring it up above, behind that post, and up through the center through that diamond. Okay, same thing on the other side. I'll go around the top and up through the center. Okay, let's pull this. There we go. This is a little long for me, so I'm going to dress it down so it's a little closer. And I'll simply do that by pulling in some slack, and I'll just chase it all the way through. Pull this tight. I'll just work it in from both sides. Now this one is going to be a lot more difficult to get undone. Pass it all the way through. I'll go all the way around. Okay, pull it up and then pull this tight. Good luck getting into that without you noticing.